myself Mridul, and I am gonna read a newspaper of India Times about everything on the business article. Let's go. The forces will be building on the play in the food, art, artinas, Aristotle, beverages, skincare. Wait a second. Beverages, skincare, and high performance apparel where high earning Indians and looking for differentiation products and spending on a clean benefits in the food and beauty. The targets consumers will be urban middle class whose aspirations are rising with distinguishing markets premium more access in the markets opportunities exist well beyond the meteor, said Tim Thomas, the CEO at Australian Essence. Want said that his strong partnership with India over the years will help him grow in the ventures in the markets. My area of expertise in the is contracts, networking, knowing people and putting people together. Watt said, adding that cricket has taught him a perseverance. That's a new word. We're gonna look into it. Perseverance, a tale which he will be carrying with him in the ecloge, ECELO of the business world. Watt doesn't miss a cricket field any more than he does allow the game, especially the Test cricket. Rishabh Pant in his currently favorite Indian cricketer and Watt likes the way he plays. He was also full of praises for the Test skipping Subham Gill and was impressed by the performance of Indian in England. Asked about his favorite from the years, yes, tears. Watt said it is a hard to pick one, Tendulkar or Dravid or Gavaskar. Watt venture Australian Essence will help tap into Indian booming retail markets where consumers are willing to spend on the premium products. To being with the 9 brands are foraying into the country. The focus will be to the build a playing in the food, arsenal beverages, artisanal beverages, skincare, and high performance apparel where high earning Indians are looking for a different products. India not pursuing alternatives to US for global trade. ECA Chief Economic Advisors V. Ananta Nageswar on Wednesday said that the country is pursuing any proposal to replace the dollars as international currency for global trade. No, certainly not. I think India is not a part of such initiative, he said in the response to questioning if India is looking for an alternative currency to the US dollars for global trade. Although last year's at BRICS summit held in October, Kazan, Russia, India and other BRICS nations had agreed for creation of the special BRICS. Gukesh said Merck wants to export made in India cars. Mercedes-Benz, Mercs. We call Mercs in India. Mercedes-Benz has intended to government that it want to export made in India cars to markets across the world, for which it is looking to expand the production at a factory outside Pune. Road Transportation and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari said on Wednesday. Gadkari said on chairman of Mercedes held together him and the Indian production quality is strong and has promoted the company to look out expanding manufacturing in the countries meeting requirements of the global markets. The chairman of Mercedes was telling me that they are going to look in increasing in the productivity of Mercedes in India and they want exports Mercedes from here to the markets all over the world. Gadkari told while Times of India while speaking to the auto retailer conclave organized by the Federation of Automobile Dealer Association FADA. Okay, FADA. That's a new term. Federation of Automobile Dealers and Association FEDA. ठीक है, it's a nice thing we got to learn today. Okay. Mercedes assembles cars and SUVs at a factory outside the Pune factory has a capacity of assembling around 20,000 units annually. The company has inc- invested around 3,000 crores in India over the last 3 decades, but all the products is used to meet the demand in India. The company on Tuesday said that Germany wants it that it wants to keep investing in India, which is priority markets for the global spending. To visit India, we porters in the Munchi, members of a board and management of Mercedes-Benz Group MG, Matthias Grisham of the companies will continue investing in the priority markets, putting the holding any its plane, including to blaster local production. This is India and EU are the middle of the advanced negotiation for a free trade agreement, which may result in easier access for European cars, and India as an subsidy importers rates. We haven't put any planes to hold compared of what we originally G, G Jennison said. Gadkari said some of the top automotive companies of the world are manufacturing in India, not just center at the local demands but also for the exports. SEBI releases eases compliances norms for FIPS investment in EGS. Markets regulation SEBI on Wednesday said foreign portfolio investors who have put money only in the government securities under the full accessible routine will not be required any flourishing invest group details. That's a new word. Flourish. A group of details. Such investors will also be expecting certain disclosure and reporting requirements applicable to regular foreign portfolio investor FPIs. Foreign portfolio investors. The regulatory said the move is aimed to streamlining the products and attracts more long-term overseas investments in the debt markets. Urban companies IPO subscribe 3 to 1 times by the date 1. Urban company initial public offering IPO witnessed strong demands of the first day. With the issue of subscribed 3 to 1, the surge was driven by retail and non-institutional investors, while qualifying institutes of buyers. Qualified institutional buyers QIBS showing measures interesting in exchange data showed IPOs received bids for 33.3 crores shared against 10.6 crore on the offers. The individual investor RII retail individual investors category saw the sharpest demand subscription 7 times its reserve portion will bids for 13.5 crores shares against 1.9 crore shares available. Indian EV charging infra has been significantly growth in the last few years, owing to full fund allocations with the government schemes with the FAME 2 and PME drive. These instant as a pilot 2025, it's 4,075 in the first 8 months of 2025 alone. Tata Capitals to launch 2 billion IPO in first half of October. Tata Capital is likely to launch its much as appreciated 2 billion overall 17,000 crores initial public offering in the first half of October. The Reserve Bank of India RBI has guaranteed an extension to the list of sharing and borrowers according to the people familiar with the matters. Earlier, this is non-banking financial company has given a timeline of September 30 to list on the stock exchange. The company is eyeing 2 billion through the maiden public offering at a valuation of 18 billion. This was a sharp jump from 11 billion valuation Wait, takes 1 second. Let me write it down. We're gonna find all the meanings of these things. Tata Capital filed confidence IPO Parper, papers in April. Tata Capital offering would be biggest in the country after Hyundai Motors of 3.3 billion 27,870 IPO in October 2024. While RBI having given a timeline of September 30, it has allowed for extension due to procedural reasons. People familiar with the matter said market observe notes that larger IPOs often see such extensions. For initial instance, the NSDL, the 4,000 crore IPO, was given an extension from SEBI by over 4 months before offering finally opening. As per the update drafted, red hearing prospects DRHP draft red hearing prospects filing in August. The IPO will comprising a issue fresh issue use up to 21 crores equity shares and offer for sale offer for sale of nearly 26.6 crore shares to killing 47.6 crore shares. Promoter Tata Sons will driven up 23 crore shares, while International Finance Corporation IFC, International Finance Corporation, that is an important thing you need to remember, guys, will offer around 3.6 crore shares. Currently Tata Sons own 88.6 crore of Tata Capital, with IFC holding of 1.8%. Only IFC, International Finance Corporation, holds around 1.8% of the total company. That's very small part, but it has a very big value in the company because foreign investors are very less. And I'm gonna give you news every week, every day, regularly, of Times of India and all over the world by best sources and true news. I'm not a false guy. Let's continue. Procedures from the fresh issue will be deployed to August Tier 1 capital and fuel leading growth. IDFC Bank files new insolvency plead against Z. The lender claims 225 crore defaults. Z team, despite merciless, the IDFC Bank has once again dragged Z Entertainment Enterprises to insolvency court. It has filed a fresh application before the Mumbai bench of a company's law tribunal initiative insolvency procedures against Z for defaulting of 225 crores. Z has disputed that bank's claims terms in the meritless and abuse of the legal processes. Z intend to take legal action against IDBI to protect its reputation. The origin of IDBI's 225 crores claims stems from the debt agreement between the bank and the Z for credit facilities available by City Networks, companies promoted by Z's for founders. Z was guarantor to City loans. According to Z, in 2022, the bank had previously filed an insolvency case against the companies regarding to the same debt claim. However, the application was dismissed by the Mumbai in May 2023. The bank then challenged the Mumbai order other before the company's law appellate tribunal in Delhi, but appeal saw dismissed in April 2025. Z said GB also attempt to make a claim of same debt under the Debt Recovery Act of first filing the original application before Debt Recovery Tribunal in Mumbai, which was later withdrawn, and then before the Debt Recovery Tribunal in Delhi, the Delhi Debt Recovery Tribunal. 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 Tribunal in Delhi. Delhi Debts Recoveries Tribunal dismissed the banks filed appealed against the order of applicant tribunal in Delhi, which is still pending adjustment. Origin of IDIBI 225 crores term from the debt agreement between the banks and the Z for credit facilities available by City Networks, a company promoted by Z's founders. Z was the guarantor to the City loans. According to Z in 2022, the bank has previously filed an insolvency case against the companies regarding the same debt claims. However, this application was dismissed by the Mumbai Company Law Tribunal at 2023. Sensex of Nifty extends their winning runs on the global cures. Benchmark of BSE Sensex climbs up to 123 points while broader Nifty settling about 25,000 crore on Tuesday, tracking a rally in the global peers aim to Fed rates cut hopes, rallying for the fourth day in a row of 30 shares. Sensex climbed 123.58 points or 0.15% on to settle on 81,548.73 during the day. It rallied to 217 points or 0.26% only to 81,643.22. The 50 shares NSE Nifty rose by 32.40 points or 0.13% to the close of a nearly 3 weeks high of 25,005.5, market its seventh consecutive day of a gain among Sensex firms. NEPT, Axis Bank, Power Grid, Bharat Airtel, External and Sun Pharma was the major gainer. The Nifty 50 index have closed above the critical threshold of 25,000. The unexpected impossible of 50% tariffs on India by the US initially dragged the maintainer index down by 24,400. Vinod Air, head of research, Geojit Investments Limited, said. That's a reputed investment firm. The positive signals from the US resume trade discussion with India having future prevailed the way of index to assure to a new range of highly expected. The markets Naira added. The markets trade in the substitute manners of the Tuesday and emerged as a marginally higher tasking breather after the recent surge. After a positive state, the Nifty moved into a narrow range throughout the seasonal and a financial settlement of 25,005.5 levels. And Ajit Mishra, an SVP research regulator, broke LTV Limited. The Tega to buy 71% in US to Co Molycop in 10,000 crores deal. That's a big deal. Joining hands with funds managed by Polo City based Tega Industries will also acquire US companies Molycop for over 10,000 crores, making this the largest global acquisition by a Bangalore company. We saw new words, let's write it down. Consortium company has acquired a 77% stake in the US company, said sources. Tega entered into the term sheets of acquiring Molycop, a global supplier in the grinding medium for the mining in industries, from the affiliated American Industries AIP, affiliated American Industrial Partners, American Industrial Partner AIP, to an enterprise value of approximately 1.5 billion, 13,000.10 crore, 13,200 crores. It is also learned that acquisition would be funded through a combination of equity and debt, with the equity portion being 680 million, around 6,000 crores. The Tega Industries and the Molycop together delivered 1.7 billion, 15,207 crores in the revenue and 217 million, 1,946 crore to EBITDA last year. This statement, Tega Investments informed stocks exchanging that his strategic complementary acquisition will establish the companies as one of the world's largest leading designers and manufacturing in the critical to operate consumers for certain production step in mining, minerals processing and material handling industries with the innovative and differentiation procedure portfolio. Tega Industries MD and Group CEO Mehul Mohak said, I meet Kim Marwani, the general partner of AIP. AIP means American Industrial Partners. AIP for the first time in 2017 at our Deja plant in Gujarat, and the parts of me always knew that we would make a meaningful association someday. I am glad to see that they has arrived in Tega's 50th anniversary year within the strategic acquisition in the partnership with Polo Funds and will accelerate its innovation, greatly expanding the market's reach and creating a significant value for our customers. Hey, I'm Mridul. Let's talk about Ellison tops Musk as the richest man in 393 billion. The Ellison, the founder of Oracle. Let's deal everything about we know in 1 minute. Oracle co-founded wealth sorcerer by over 100 billion in a day. In a day, that means he earned 100 billion on a cloud-led stock surge. The day increasing lifted the Ellison fortune by 393 billion ahead of Musk of 305 billion, almost like 7 billion to 8 billion he increased in a day. Musk and Ellison net worth. Musk network is 400 million and Ellison is 200 around. The Oracle co-founder Larry Ellison 81 has become the world's richest person for the first time, ending the European Musk nearly a long region at the top. Ellison fortune soared 1.1 million early on Wednesday, the biggest one-day rise recorded after the database software core reported quarterly results and the suspended expectations and said there is more growth to come.